Welcome back, guys, to another Crimson Moon Battle Report. Today we're checking out Battletech, the beginner's box. You get quite a bit of really cool stuff in this box. You get the quick start rules, which is what we're going to be playing today. You get a little flyer from Iron Wind Metals, in case you want to buy your mechs in metal instead of plastic. Though I do recommend the Catalyst Games mechs. They are really cool looking. They've been releasing a lot of plastic stuff that looks awesome. And then you also have a little quick reference to the Inner Sphere, and it talks about the different houses. Not a whole lot, but just a little brief overview of the different houses and what's going on with them, basically. You also get a brief description on battle mechs and the mech warriors that pilot them. And then you're also going to get a little novel kind of catching you up on some of the stuff that's going on in Battletech universe, in case you're not too sure what is going on in this universe. I myself haven't read it, but I'm definitely going to give it a try, and because I really dig the universe for Battletech, and I'm really interested in checking out a lot more of their background and story of it. And then you also get this really cool thing, which is little stand-ups. The box does come with 2 plastic minis, but this is in case you want to play bigger games. Of course, today we're just going to be trying out the small 1 mech versus 1 mech, just so that we can kind of learn the base rules of the game. So this will be one of the mechs that I'll be using. It'll be the Wolverine. I painted it in House Kurita. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I really liked the color scheme on it, and I was very interested in that house. So I was like, why not? Red looks really cool. And facing the Wolverine will be the Griffin GRF-1S from House Marik. So if you're a veteran of playing Battletech, this video might not do you any good, because it'll be more of a introduction to Battletech. And it's intended more towards the people that are interested in Battletech, that haven't played before, or if they just want to see if this game is for them. That's pretty much what this video will be about. So all I'm going to be doing is playing the beginner box, quick start rules, which leaves out a lot of the extra rules for the game, but it does give you all the basics to play the game. So it doesn't, it's kind of a watered down, but at the same time, it doesn't make it too complex for the early gamer. So this is the mat you get in the box itself. Now it is double-sided, so you get this really cool desert version, and then you also have a grassy with trees and all kinds of stuff on the other side. So for the demo, we're just going to be using this side. So the scenario we're playing is going to be Greenhorn, and as suggested, we're using the desert side, and that's exactly what we have right over here. And as mentioned before, some of the rules that we're not using are the piloting skills, the critical hits, the heat, additional terrain modifiers and whatnot, and there's a few other rules that we won't be using in this game. So how do you play? You have 3 different phases. You have your initiative phase, you have your movement phase, and then you have your weapon attack phase. For your initiative phase, each player is going to be rolling 2 dice each. So for example here, the Griffin will be the white, the Wolverine will be blue. And from here you see that the Griffin got an 8, the Wolverine got a 7, so the Griffin would win priority. So what that would mean is he would set up first, being the attacker, and actually the defender would set up first. So the Wolverine would set up first since he lost, and then the attacker would set up second. So we are deployed. The Griffin is on the upper corner of the map, and the Wolverine is at the bottom. So now that we are set up, now we would roll for initiative to see who would take the first turn. So blue being Wolverine and white being the Griffin. So the Griffin would lose priority, so that means the Wolverine would actually go second in this game, and that's actually a pretty good thing, because in this game, winning priority doesn't mean you go first, you go second. So that actually means that you can anticipate what your opponent's going to do first, and then you can kind of counteract to that. So you got your mechs. Now what do they do? Now this is the anatomy of a mech record sheet, and these sheets you do get inside the actual starter box itself. You have the Wolverine, which is 55 tonnage. It's a medium mech. It's from the inner sphere. You have your movement points. You got 5 for walking, 8 on running, 5 when you're jumping. And then these are the weapon loadouts that you have. You have a medium laser, which does 5 damage, has a short range of 3, medium 6, long range 9, SRM 6, which SRM 6 only has 15 shots. It does 2 damage per missile that you land. It has a short range of 3, 6, 9, actually 3 for short, medium 6, long 9. And then you have an AC 5, which does 5 damage, and that also only has a limit of 20 shots. And it has a short of 6, medium 12, long 18, and then these are the modifiers that you'll be adding depending on the range of your weapon. Whenever you hit a mech, you're going to be rolling 2d6, and you're going to determine where you actually hit it. And on top of that, you also have your armor, which is what the parts that you'll be marking off when you start taking damage. And it also even shows you the transfer. If you get hit in the leg, if you run out of points, you'll be transferring the damage up, and so forth with the arms. So you'll be transferring inward. Then last but not least, you have your gunnery skill, which is a 4, and that's your base starting number when you're determining your attack. So starting with the Griffin first, he's going to be doing his movement phase. Now he has to choose a mode that he wants to move in. So he could either stand still, which makes it easier for him to shoot, but he also makes it easier for him to get hit. He could do a walking, which gives him a +1 to his shooting. He can do a running, which gives him a little bit faster speed, but also adds +2 to his shooting. And he could also do a jumping, which gives him a +3, making it very hard for him to shoot, but also makes it a little harder for them to get hit as well. Now, something that they do recommend whenever you're choosing your movement of your mech is colored dice. And what we choose is white for walking, black for running, and red for jumping. Now, this is just, all you're using is just the color of the die. You're not paying attention to the number that's actually inside. This is just to show the modifier that you're going to be adding, so whenever you're moving. So that's something that they recommend you use, which is right here in the rule book as well. But for this example, he's just gonna go ahead and activate. He's just gonna go ahead and run, which the Griffin has a run of 8. So he will just, when he's moving, each hex counts as 1 point. So you can move forward over 1. You can move backwards, which costs you 2. And in order to move lateral, you have to do your facing towards that way. So, and that costs you 1 point. There is no lateral movement, so you would have to pivot 1. So that's going to cost you 1 to turn, and then you could continue moving your allotment. So that would be 1. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you come to terrain, light counts as an additional +1 for your movement points, and heavy, which I don't think, oh, right here, that counts as an additional 2. So it'd be 3 to move in here, and it'd be 2 to move into the light. So that would be 5, and this would count as 6, 7. So that means that he ran, so I would put a black die next to that mech showing that he ran. Okay, so that would be his movement. So now it would go to the Wolverine. So the Wolverine would be activating. And when you're shooting, if you count at least 3 points worth of terrain that's in the way, you count as blocking. So for example, a light counts as 1 point, heavy counts as 2 points. So if I was to try and shoot here to there, I wouldn't be able to see them because there's at least 3 points worth of terrain that's covered, that's blocking my line of sight. So with that in mind, we're just going to try and get into some cover. So we're going to say that the Wolverine is going to run as well. So he would be moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, because that would cost me 3. So he ran, so that means that he would have also a black die. Now, whenever you take your movement, you're also going to be adding the amount of spaces that you moved. So for example, the Griffin moved 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He actually moved 5. So that means that that's an additional modifier for the enemy that's trying to hit him. So anytime you're moving, you go to your sheet, and your sheet would tell you. And actually, this is the what do they call it? The gator, the gator. So you're going by your gunnery skill, your attacking movement, and your target modifier. So in this case, he moved 5 hexes, so you add in +2. So that's when you would change this to a 2, just to remind your opponent that they're at the +2 to their gunnery skill trying to shoot him. So same thing with the Wolverine. He moved 1, 2, 3, 4. So he moved 4. So that means 3 to 4 hexes. So it would be a +1 to shoot him. So you would just change that to a 1. So now we would go to the attack phase. So starting with the Griffin, since he won priority, he would choose his target. And you have line of sight starting from your front arc here all the way down. That means that he would have line of sight to him. So he would choose him to shoot all his weapons. Of course, if there's other mechs on the field, you could actually split fire and put your weapons on different mechs as long as you have line of sight to them. In this case, he would have line of sight to him. And then what you would do is you would count up the amount of squares that you're away. So in this case, I believe it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it'd be 11 away. So looking at the Griffin's weapons, he would be in medium range for his LRM-5, and he would be in long range with his large laser. So before you even shoot, you can actually determine what you would need in order to hit it. So in this case, you would start with a base of 4, because that's his gunnery skill. He moved, actually he ran, so that's +2, so he's a 6. It's going to be long range, or actually medium, because you would start with the first weapon. So let's just start with the LRM. So medium, it'd be +2, so that's 8. He's in heavy cover, that's another +2, so that's a 10. And he also ran, so that means that he moved more than 3 spaces, or at least 3 spaces. So that means that he need an 11 to hit. So would it be worth it to really shoot? Probably not. I mean, you could still try it. Why not? Let's just take a shot. Why not? Just for the giggles of it. So let's see, an LRM is 24, so he'd go down to 23. So he would need an 11 or better on 2 dice. And he misses. So with a 4, so that means that if that needed an 11, he would not be able to hit with the large laser, because that's a +4 since it's in long range. So he would just not even bother shooting his long range, his large laser. So that would be the end of the Griffin. So now we'd go to the Wolverine, and knowing that he's 11 away, we'll take a look at his weapons. And he's got a lot of weapons that are in very short range. So the only thing that he would be able to really shoot would be his AC5, which is medium. So he would pretty much need an 11 or better as well, because he has a base of 4. It's +2 because it's a medium, so it's 6. He ran, that's 8, and he is in light. Actually, he's in light cover, so it's a 9. And he actually ran as well. Actually, no, he moved more than 5. So that's actually it's the same thing. He needs an 11 as well, because it's a 9, 10, 11 because the +2 because of the amount of hexes that he ran. So why not? We'll take a shot. That's his AC5. His AC5 has 20 shots. So this would go down to a 19. We'll change that here in a bit. And then we'd roll it. He would need an 11 or better. And he missed with a 7. So then all you would do was calculate at the end of everything. You would calculate the amount of damage. If they did any, you would mark it on the sheet. And you would pretty much go on to the next turn. That would be the end of turn 1. So before the end of the last turn, you would clear off your dice. And then you would start a whole new round. Blue being Wolverine, white being the Griffin, and let's see who's gonna take priority. So it looks like it's gonna be the Griffin that's gonna be taken first because the Wolverine won priority once again. So starting with the Griffin, he would activate. So the Griffin would activate and choose his movement. He's just gonna run once more. So he's gonna move 8. It doesn't cost you anything to come out of the woods. So it would just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He moved another 5. So he ran. So that's going to be the black die with a modifier of 2. All right, so now the Wolverine would go, and he doesn't want to be out in the open. So I would say he would run as well, and he's going to try and run past to this side. So he's just going to go like so. So he'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he won't be able to clear this. So he's just going to move one more, go to 8, or actually just turn, and he ran, which is a black die. He moved from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually now he's actually at +2, and now it's going to go on to the shooting phase. So starting with the Griffin first, he would be choosing his target, which would be the Wolverine. So his target would go through some heavy terrain, but nothing else would block line of sight. So he would have line of sight, but he is going to get cover. So that means that he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces away. So he is going to be able to shoot his LRM-5, which is short 7, his large laser, which is range 5, and he can shoot his his 2 medium lasers because they would be in medium. Okay, so starting with the first weapon, it would be the LRM-5. It would be in short range, so there's no modifiers. So it's going to be a 4, 5, 6 for running, 7, 8 because of the amount of hexes that he moved, 9, 10 because of the cover. And he is not in any cover this time. So needing 10s on 2 dice. Oh man, he almost missed it. He almost hit it. Missed it by 1. So now he's gonna go on to the next shot. The LRM just shot, so now he's gonna go down to 22. So his large laser is gonna be also in short range, so no modifiers there. So it should be the same thing. His base start is a 4, 5, 6 for running, 7, 8 heavy cover, 9, 10 for the amount of hexes that the Wolverine ran. So needing 10s or better. Nope, missed it with a 5. And then there's the medium lasers. The 2 medium lasers is going to add +2, so he would actually need 12s for this because it's just adding +2 to the modifier. So he's got 2 of them. Why not? Let's shoot them twice. Miss with his first one and miss with the second one. So that's going to be it for the Griffin. So now it's going to go on to the Wolverine. He's going to do pretty much the same thing. Shoot back. He is 5 away. Starting with his medium laser. He's going to be in medium range, so it's a base of a 4. 5, 6 for running, 7, 8 because of the amount of hexes, 9, 10 because of the cover. So he's gonna need 10s or better. 10s or better. Oh, actually, medium laser, it's a +2, so he needs 12s. So it's a 6. So he missed with the medium laser. So now he's gonna skip his SRM because it's gonna need a 12. So he's gonna go with his AC5 and see if he can get a lucky 10. Because it'd be 4, 5, 6 for running, 7, 8, 9, 10 because of his amount of hexes that he moved. So he'll skip the missiles, but he's going to go to his AC5. He missed it horribly. So that's going to take him down to 18 shots. And with that, that's going to be the end of this round. And on to the next one. Dices have been cleared off. Now let's roll for initiative. 7 for the Wolverine and 7 for the Griffin. So let's re-roll that again. 9 for the Wolverine, 5 for the Griffin. So the Griffin is going to be activating first. So the Griffin, sensing that the Wolverine's a little too close for comfort, he's just going to do a jump action, which is 5 hexes. So he is going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to jump like so and be facing straight. So that means that he would get the red die. And he jumped 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be only a modifier of 1 because he only moved up to 4 spaces. So now the Wolverine's going to go, and he's not going to take any chances. He's just going to go ahead and walk. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have to run. As he gets into the light cover. Oh, why not? Let's get up there. Let's get up there and face him. Let's do a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means he moved 1, 2, 3, 4. So he would also just do a walk, but he's only at a +1 since he only did a walk action. So that means they're going to be face to face. And on to the showdown that is the weapons phase. So whenever a mech does jump, it does add an additional +1 to be shot at. So that's going to be a modifier of 2 rather than just a 1. But now the Griffin's going to go ahead and take his shot. So he is 1, 2, 3 away. So that means he's going to be in range of everything. So everything will be short. So starting with the LRM5, he's going to be needing a base of a 4. He jumped those. That's a 7, 8. Because of the amount of hexes that the Wolverine moved. So he needs 8s on 2 dice. Make sure I got that right. 4, 7, 8. Yeah. No cover this time. So 8s. He missed with a 5. Okay. So that's going to make it down to 21 on his LRM5s. So now he's going to go down the line. Large laser. He's going to need the same thing. He's going to need 8s because there's no modifiers there either. So 8s, come on. Nope. Only a 5. Nothing there. And then he's got his 2 medium lasers. First one to get shot. Short range. There we go. He got a 10. So now we're going to roll 2 dice to see the location that it's going to hit. 5 points of damage to 11. Ugh. 11 is gonna be, not too bad. It's gonna be the left arm. So left arm, he's gonna take 2, 4, 5. 5 points of damage. So now it's gonna go to his other medium laser. He's gonna take a shot. And he missed it by 1. Actually, he missed it by 2. And that's gonna be the end of the Griffin. So now it's gonna go to the Wolverine. And now he's gonna take his shots. Oops. So he's going to be 3 away as well. No cover. So it's going to put everything in range. So starting with the 1 medium laser, he's going to take his shot. So he is needing 4, 5, 6, 7. He's needing 7s. I missed it with a double 1. Okay. All right. So that missed. So now it's going to go on to the SRM6. Same thing, he needs 7s. He nailed it with a 9. So now with missiles, you have to determine how many actually land because it's a cluster of them. So now we're gonna roll on the chart. And it's an SRM6. So the weapon size is a 6. So now let's roll 2 dice. So it's gonna be an 8. So the SRM6, 8 dice, so it's going to be 4 missiles that are going to land, and they're going to be 2 damage apiece. So that's going to be a 8, and I believe you separate them by, I think you divide the damage by 5 for the missiles. So it's going to be the first one, the first 5 that are going to hit are going to be in location 9. So location 9 is going to be the left leg. Left leg is going to take 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the the final 3 points is going to be location 4. So location 4 is the right arm. So right arm, so it's going to be 2, 3. Okay, so that went through, so that means that it's another shot. So it's going to be down to the SRM's 15, so it's going to be down to 12. And then now the AC5 is going to be shooting, and I'm going to refresh my memory. 4, 5, 6, 7. He needs 7s. Got it with a 10. So now it's going to be 5 points of damage to location 7. Location 7 is the center torso. 5 points of damage. 2, 4, and 5. All right, so now we're starting to see some damage starting to mount up. So start of the next turn, let's take this look and see who's going to take initiative. It's going to be 10 for the Wolverine and 5 for the Griffin. So that means once again the Griffin has lost, so he's going to have to activate first. So the Griffin's going to choose to go ahead and jump for this turn. So he's going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going to keep his facing like so to keep the Wolverine in his front arc, and doing that will give the Wolverine some options on how he wants to move. So the Griffin jumped, so that means he's going to have a red die, and he jumped 5 spaces, so he's going to be at +2 for the opponent. The Wolverine is just going to go ahead and move, so he's going to twist or face this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so, and that means he moved 1, 2, 3, at least 3 spaces. So he walked, and he'll be only at a +1. So now on to the firing phase. So we start with the Griffin. He's going to nominate the Wolverine, shoot all of his weapons at it. So starting with the LRM, he's in short range, so that means that it's going to be a base of a 4. He jumped +3, so it's going to make it a 7. And then because of the amount of squares that the Wolverine moved, it's another 1. So that means that he's going to be looking at 8s or better for his LRM5. Missed it by 1. So now he's going to go on to his next weapon, which is going to be the large laser. And he's going to need the same thing. He's going to need 8s or better. Missed it by 6. I mean, he missed it by 2. And then he's going to have 2 medium lasers coming at him. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing. No modifiers for the range. First shot misses, and then the last shot gets it with a 12. So 1 medium laser, damage of 5, going to location 7. And that means that is going to be the center torso. And that it was 5 points? Yeah, 5 points. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the Wolverine's gonna go, and I need to add an additional +1 to his modifier because he did jump. So it was 2 because of the amount of hexes, and then it's another +1 because he did jump. Okay, so now with the Wolverine, he's gonna take his shots. So now his medium laser, you're looking at a gunnery skill of 4. He is within 3 spaces, so no modifiers there. He walked, which is +1, which makes it a 5, and then the modifier 3, so you're looking at 8s. So he's looking at 8 or better with his medium laser. He missed with a 4, and now he's going to take a shot with his SRM6. Same thing, he's going to need 8 or betters. He got it with a 10. So now how many missiles actually hit? A 7. 7 on the 6. We're looking at 4 missiles. Now I did do this incorrectly last time. On the SRMs, you have to roll a location for each missile. So 4 missiles, I'm gonna have to roll 4 times for the locations. So the first one, and these are 2 points apiece of damage. So it's gonna hit in the 5. The 5 is gonna be the right leg. So we are looking at right leg here. So 2 points, that's gonna be those 2. And then rolling once again. He got a 7. 7 is going to be the center torso. Center torso, it's another 2 points. 2 there. And then he needs 2 more rolls. 8. 8 is going to be the left torso. So left torso is going to be right over here. So 2 points there. And then for the last one, he rolled a 8. And 8 once again is the left torso. So 2 more points there. Okay, so now the only thing left is his AC5. So let me take one of these off because he did shoot with the SRM. So now he only has 12 shots left. But now the AC5, he's needing 8 or betters. Missed it by 1. Oh man, that would have been a good one to hit. But that is going to be the end of his shooting phase. And that's going to be the end of the turn. So for the next round, ooh, looks like the Griffin is going to be actually taking the second activation. So the Wolverine's going to be going first. So the Wolverine activates first, and he's just going to move back. So he's just going to walk. Now I can't find it in the rules that say that it costs 2 to move backwards. So I'm just going to count it as 1. But if you guys see it, just point it out to me and let me know in the comments below that I did it wrong. But I'm just going to move him backwards with a point cost of 1. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to move to that space right there. And since he walked and he moved at least 4 spaces, so it's just going to be walking with a +1. So now the Griffin's going to run. So he's going to move 1, 2 facing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get into this terrain, and then he's just going to face this way for 8. So that means that he is going to be having a black die, and he moved at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least I moved 5 spaces, so he'll be at +2. But he is still going to have that front arc, so he's still going to be able to blast the Wolverine. So starting with the Wolverine, he is going to take his first shots. He's going to nominate the Griffin as the opponent, target, I should say. So starting with his medium laser, his base is a 4, 5 because he moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4 spaces away. So that means it's going to be +2 for this medium. So that means he's at 7, 8, 9 because he ran, and then 10 because he's in light cover. So he's going to need 10s or better on his medium laser. He got an 8, so he missed. So now he's going to shoot his SRM6. SRM6 is the same thing, so +2, so he's going to need 10s or better on this die. Missed it by 2, and that means this is going to go down to 5. He is running low on them in them SRMs. And now his last shot, which is going to be the AC5, is actually going to be in short range because it's short range of 6. So no modifiers there. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because of the cover. So 8 or better. I missed it with a 3. All right, so that's going to be the end of the Wolverine. So the Griffin is now just going to return the favor, choosing him as a target. So he is 4 spaces away. So we're looking at short range for just about everything except the 2 medium lasers. So the LRMs are going to be short range, so it's going to be a base of 4, 5, 6 because he ran, 7 because he walked, and there is no penalty for the range. So we're looking at 7s. Okay, he got it with a 7. So that is the LRM. So now these are a little different because let's see how many missiles land. So it's going to be a 9, and it's an LRM5. So it's the 5, we got a 9, so it's going to be 4 missiles. Did we get a 9? Yeah, we got a 9. So it's going to be 4 missiles, so it's going to be 4 damage. So on the LRMs, we're supposed to divide it as equal as we can in 5s. So in this case, it's only 4 missiles, so that means that it would be just 1 row. because each missile that hits, it's 1 point each. So it's just going to be 4 points to location 8. And location 8 is going to be the left torso. So 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So now he's got his large laser, which is also no penalties there. And I believe it was a 6. It was 4, 5, 6, and no penalties because of the 7s. 7s because he walked, because of how far he ran. So 7s, missed it by 1. Okay, and then now this is going to be +2 because of the medium lasers are going to be in medium range. So that means that he's needing +2. So it was 4, 5, 6 because he ran, 7 because of the amount of hexes, 8, 9 because of the range. So 9s are better for his first medium. He missed. Second shot, he hits it with a 10. So 5 points to location 7. So location 7, got the wrong marker. Location 7 is center torso, 5 points, 3, 4, 5. Oh man, he takes out that center torso, and that's going to be the end of the Wolverine. Anytime you take out either the center torso or the head, the mech goes down. But that's going to be the end of this round, and let's go ahead and roll up to see who's going to take the first turn for the next round. We'll clear these off. And here we go. So it looks like the Griffin is going to be going second once again. So the Wolverine is just going to back up, trying to get some cover. So he's just going to walk. So that means he's going to move 1. And that's heavy, so it's going to be 3. So it's going to be 4. And then 5, just a twist. So he can have some sort of a arc, but he only moved 2 squares, so that means he's going to be at 0 modifier. So you put a 6, showing that there's going to be no modifiers to shoot at him for the attacker, but it is +1 because he moved. So now the Griffin's going to move, and he's just going to get into danger close. He's like, heck with this, I'm going to start taking this guy down. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 to twist, and now we're going to start blasting. So starting with the Wolverine, since he is the first for priority, his medium laser, and they are 3 hexes away, 1, 2, 3. So no modifiers all the way down. So first starting with the medium laser, base of a 4, 5, and actually he did move more than 3, at least 3 to 4 hexes, so it's going to be an additional +1. So 4, 5, 6. So you need 6s for the medium laser. Nails it with a 9, so it's going to be 5 points of damage to location 9. Location 9 is going to be the left leg. So 5 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to be shooting for the next weapon, which is going to be the SRM6. So once again, no modifiers, so he's going to need 6s. Gets it with a 10. So how many missiles land? So it's going to be 9. 9 on the 6. It's going to be 5 missiles that hit. 5 missiles. Did I get the right one? The 6, 9, yeah, 5 missiles. So for the first one, 2 points of damage. Going to, oh, double 1s. So it's a 2, center torso. So 2 points. So you're looking at 1, 2. So second missile, going to the 10. That is the left arm. So 2 points here, 1, 2. And now third missile, 7. 7 is going to be center torso again. Oh boy. So 2 more points here. And then fourth missile, double 1s again, center torso. So another 2 points. And he is only 6 away from blowing up the Griffin. This is the fifth missile, which is the last one. 7 is center torso again, 2 more points. So wow, he is only 4 points from destroying the Griffin. But let's see if he can't hit with a couple of, actually he's got what, one more? He's got his AC 5. So he shot another SRM. So this is gonna go down to 4. So he's got 10 left. His SRM is the same thing. He is needing 6s. Nails it with a 12. So 5 points of damage. If he gets a 7 or a 2, that's gonna be game. He got it with a 7. 7 is the center torso, and it's gonna be 5 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that destroys the Griffin. Wow, that was freaking crazy. Hitting the torso that many times in one turn. After the all game, I was hitting all over the place, but that one turn was all it took to take it down. That was freaking awesome. And that, my friends, is Battletech. What was shown here was all the basic rules you needed to learn in order to play the game. There is a lot more extra stuff that you can learn in the game when you get the main rule book, but this is enough to get you started, just so that way you can learn the basics and get you and either your kids or your friends all on board to start playing the game. Now, of course, there is another game you can play on this, which is Alpha Strike. In the beginner's box, I didn't get any of the Alpha Strike cards, but I know they're out there. You could always buy them. And Alpha Strike's a little bit more loose. You don't use the mat. It's more of kind of like a skirmish game, like 40K and Age of Sigmar and whatnot. And you can get a lot more mechs that you could throw on the field. But it kind of uses a lot of the game mechanics from the original Battletech, just like this one. And I'll see if I can't maybe get some more mechs painted up, and I can do an Alpha Strike tutorial as well. And don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And also, if I did any errors, feel free to comment below. I always read those. And I know I probably did a few wrong things, maybe a lot of wrong things, but again, this is the first time I'm doing it on video, so I was kind of learning as well as you guys, and I'll continue to play a lot more. But hey, that's what these videos are for, to learn the game so that we can get all the rules correct, or at least most of the rules correct. And one last thing I forgot to mention is there is a lot more data sheets in the box, so you can actually play with more mechs. You just use the plastic cardboard ones, which are also included in the box, which I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video. And there's also a couple of new pilots that you get in there as well, that you can upgrade your mechs, and the pilots give you extra abilities too. But all this stuff is all inside the beginner's box. And just a heads up, this is, I think, last year's box, so there is a newer box that comes with a different mech. I believe there's still a Griffin in there, but there is a newer mech in there. I don't recall what it's called. I'm pretty sure somebody will comment below and they'll be able to tell you which two mechs are in there. But there is still another beginner's box that's out there that you guys can pick up. But other than that, that's going to be the end for this video, guys. I really appreciate all the support that you guys are giving us, all the likes you're giving us, and please continue to do so. Other than that, keep rolling dice, my friends, and don't forget to paint your walls crimson. Have a good night.